Hey everybody, it's Nick, and this is your Monday debrief for the RCYC Royals weekend. Sorry I haven't done one of these in a little bit. We haven't had much wind lately for me to do one. I spent the weekend sailing on a Melges 20 with Justin Quigg, and Chris was our third. I was doing middle, so mainsail and tactics. It's really nice to be back in a little boat again and doing something a little more physical to sailing. These little boats require a lot more attention to weight placement and details rather than, or on top of all the other stuff you have to do. So it just makes it a little more challenging and creates more variables in what your speed is going around the race course. So Saturday we had about 14 to 16 with a lot of short chop. It probably got down to as low as 10 to 12 for a little bit. Made for some interesting downwind work. Upwind, we really focused on sailing flat all the time and using very, very little hull movement, and this seemed to help out a lot while going through that chop. Played both sails a lot, and we had the rig spun up pretty tight most of the day. We had it into our 14 to 18 knot setting, so we're right on the lower end of it, and what this allowed us to do, I think, was keep a little bit tighter forestay while still easing the main off a lot more than we normally would to keep the boat flat. So keeps it easier on the driving while still keeping the boat flat and going fast. It seemed to be really fast most of the time upwind. I don't think we ever really lost, and we were gaining most of the time. We worked hard on our starts and made sure we were always starting safe. So we started down towards the pin most of the day, but we're never the pin boat. We're always middle pin and making sure we're in safe spots, not starting right above somebody who tends to sail really high. And we used a lot of ang to keep the boom in control so that when we're easing, we're not necessarily powering up the boat every time we do that. We still need a lot of work on our downwind speed. It was in that weird wind range where you have either lazy plane or soak mode, and we got burned on both decisions a couple times. So we're still kind of trying to figure out where the balance between weight placement, trim, and tactically positioning modes where we need to be. Sunday was a lot lighter. It was about 4 to 8 all day when we were racing. A couple times we were out to full hike. I think we had the opposite problem as the other day. We were maybe a little too loose. Just seems like we weren't able to reset the boat quite as easily once we got down speed. Felt okay most of the time, just never had that awesome feeling that, okay, we're really in the groove, really going fast. There was a lot of weeds out there they had to make sure for. I know we hit a lily pad or something. One boat had a twig stuck to their rudder for a whole downwind. It was very shifty, very puffy, and there's a lot of landmines out there that you had to watch out for. We had a couple engagements where we would separate from somebody for only maybe 2 minutes, come back, and you felt like you were doing the right thing, and they gained 3 boat lengths on you. So it was a difficult, tricky day that I don't think we did a good enough job adapting to the changes from the day before. Still struggling a little bit downwind, but it seemed to come together towards the end of the day, so that was very encouraging. Overall, upwind, it was kind of, if you were in pressure, it was a good thing. There were some big shifts there, but I think if you were in pressure, it made a bigger difference than if you're necessarily on the right side of the shift or not. So overall, I think we made some big steps from where we were this time last year with this program. We also learned a couple very valuable lessons, one of which is to never, ever, ever leave out B Hill. Ever. Overall, happy with the boat handling, happy with most of the way the weekend went, not happy with our attempted leave out on B Hill. We were always in the mix, which is nice. And it's nice to see this fleet getting really tight. There's a couple guys who are still pretty launched most of the time, but we're able to be in the mix all the time with them. So made them work a little bit harder for their trophies this time. Anyways, UIC's up next, and I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching. Bye.